Hi, guys. Wow. I'm loud, huh? Good morning. This has been a couple rough weeks, huh? I'm going to not ignore them, and we're just going to talk about them, all right? So the memorial was yesterday. Hopefully you guys were able to be there or maybe watch. I know we were supposed to. Chris was trying to tell me to talk about the red shoes, and I wasn't picking up her clues. Sorry, Chris. I was so like, gotta talk and make sense. And so the red shoes, John, if you didn't know, John had a pair of red Converse high tops that he wore all the time. They became part of his signature look. That's what I call it. His signature look. And so some of us just wanted to buy them and wear them to honor him, to remember him, to even to signify walking and what John walked in. And so that's what those are about, is that's John's signature look. And the painting made me cry, like, dang it. I mean, I'm wearing them right there, but for some reason that did something to me. Thank you, Don. I mean, in a good way, thank you, Don. I just want to address, too, this grieving process. Like, we're grieving as a body right now. And again, there's no timeline on grief and what that looks like. For me or for you, it's going to look different. And there's going to be days where you might be fine and then not fine, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you don't have faith. It doesn't mean you aren't hoping. It doesn't mean you aren't believing. It means we lost somebody we love a lot. And that's okay. And so it's okay to be sad, but still believe the truth. You can do both at the same time. And this is what we're going to do together. We're going to believe all things, and we're going to hope all things, but we're going to cry sometimes. And that's okay. So I just don't want there to be any room for us to live in condemnation or think I don't have faith, or look at somebody else and be like, you don't have faith because you're crying. Yeah, I'm crying sometimes. I still have a lot of faith. And so I just want us to, it's okay to grieve. It's okay to walk through this. We're going to walk through the valley of the shadow of death. We're going to keep walking. We're not going to camp there. We're going to keep going. But we're going to walk through it. And so I also just want to encourage us that it's been said over and over again, and Walter even just said it now. Mrs. Chris said it. Chris Knowlton said it. Talena said it. Like, we're not in a hurry about anything. And so maturity in this season of Zion Spokane is waiting patiently, quietly. Patiently and quietly. Like, we're just going to move slow, and that's okay. We're not in a hurry. Anytime we get that rush, panicky, hurry feeling, that's a really great sign it's not the Lord. Okay, we don't need any decisions. We don't need anything. Like, there's a healthy amount of time to just wait and grieve and allow other people to all get on the same pages, okay? So maturity looks like shh in this season, all right? That's what it looks like. It's just what we're doing right now. So I want to talk this morning. I feel like I have more to say about that, but I can't remember what it is now. We're going to talk this morning really quick. It's not going to be long. I just want to talk about what's still true. What is still true? Because it's still true. It is. And I guess just to let you know where I'm at, and so you understand kind of my process while I'm saying some of this stuff, it's just cost me something. This is costing me something to continue to say the truth. Sorry. I have Kleenex in my pocket. Totally prepared. Thank you. We were receiving some prophetic words from the John and Chris's BLN group. They invited us in, and we're just prophesying. They were saying amazing stuff over us, and like they spent a long time prophesying over the peak, and it was so sweet and awesome. And it was a lot. It felt like a long time, right? And they just really camped out there. And I'm crying, not because it was so rad, but because it was so John's heart. Like, this is what he wanted. This is what he prayed for. This was his idea. This is what he fought for. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do it if he's not there. And which isn't true. That's not where I'm going to land. I'm not landing there, but I just want to experience that with him. I want to be with him when these things happen and when they come to fruition. And so So I'm going to tell you what's still true, because it is, and I believe it. But I'm sad that he's not going to experience all the stuff with us. So just so you know where my heart is and why some of these things might make me cry when it doesn't seem like it should, it's just because it's hard. I wanted to be with John with all of this. So, and I'm assuming some of you might feel that way too. Does that make sense, or do I sound like a crazy person? Does that make sense? Okay. I love him a lot. I love Mama Chris so much. Chris, I love you so much. Okay. So the first thing that is still true is God is good. And he is a good father. He's still a good father. And when you read Matthew 7, verses 9 through 11, it talks about a good father doesn't give you a rock when you ask for bread, and he doesn't give you a snake when you ask for fish. I would never ask for fish. I think fish is gross. But he wouldn't give you those things. That is still true. He is still giving us bread of his presence, and he's still giving us fish, which signifies people and souls and a harvest. He's still giving us those things. That is still true. Our God is still good. He's a good father, and he has good things for me and for you to mine out in this season. Right now, in the middle of pain, we have good things, bread and fish he's giving us, and more and greater. What else is still true? All things work together for good. Romans 8:28. He makes all things. He uses every single thing. So right now, he's not wasting this. He's not wasting the loss of John. There's something in this for us that's going to be good, right? There's something in this for us right now to mine out, because he's going to make it work together for our good, which it just feels painful. Like I don't want to say that because I want John, but I don't get to choose that. I don't get to choose that. What I do get to choose is to embrace that all things work together for my good, to embrace the digging in and pulling on the deposit of what John has implanted over the years, right? I was even thinking about those seeds. We've been talking about the seed that die, and I hate that, but I love it at the same time. And John has just poured out seeds over the years, like just seeds after seeds. And I'm like, well, good. Now we're in the season of fertilizer. And now there's tons and tons of fertilizer. Yay, growth. That's what that equals. Yay, growth. Seriously, thoughts that I have. He's still faithful. He still finished what he starts. He's still always for us. He's still always with us. He's always still fighting for us. He's faithful. When I am not faithful, he is faithful. He's so good. His plans for me and you in Zion Spokane are still good. Jeremiah 29:11. We know his plans for us are good, to prosper you right now in loss, in grief, in confusion. His plans for you and for my church, for my city, for my nation are still good, right? He wasn't surprised by any of this. I've been so like, God, I hate the coronavirus. Like, it ruins everything. I hate it. But at the same time, his timing and his goodness made it where we weren't at kids camp, which would have made this a lot harder. Like John would never have let us not plan and do kids camp because of his health. He wouldn't have let us. We would have argued with him, and he would have ultimately won. And then it would have been really hard. And so in God's goodness, with the coronavirus isn't from the Lord. That's not him. It's not his judgment. So you can throw that away. And cancer isn't from the Lord. It's not here to teach me a lesson or to punish us or to punish John. That's not from him. But in the middle of it, he's still good, and he's still faithful, and he's making it all work together. He's so good. He gives us life and life abundantly. The enemy comes, the thief comes, actually is what it says. The thief comes to steal, to kill, and to destroy. But Jesus has come to give us life and life abundantly. And that is still true. The thief steals and he destroys. But God has life and life abundantly. So I took a job at Walmart. Some of you may or may not know that. I like saying took a job. It sounds better. Sounds mature to me. I took a job. And so I've seen interesting things at Walmart. It's an interesting environment. I've seen Thieves. It's my first time. I'm like, what is happening? A couple of my favorites. I just want to tell you some stories because it's funny. I was walking by someplace and there was one of those, you can go into Walmart and buy this thing of like fried chicken that's already cooked, but it's cold. I think it's cold. Anyway, you pick it up and you take it with you and then you buy it on your way out. Well, somebody had taken some pieces out, eaten it, and then set the package with still lots of chicken and then the chicken bones on top. Just sitting there. I'm like, okay, I have to wear a mask and you can eat chicken through the store? This is hilarious. Thieves. Stealing. So I saw this one lady. She came into the store. These are just for fun. Just thief stories. Don't look for any hidden meaning. Like, it's just thief stories. My first experiences. So this lady comes in and she's yelling at her dad. So I'm like, where's her dad and what's he doing? He never shows up. There's no dad. She's just crazy. So she's like, she's literally yelling at her pretend dad. And I'm like, dude, what do we do when someone's yelling? Because I don't know this. And nobody's doing anything. I mean, people are coming up to me like, she's making me really uncomfortable. I'm like, yeah, me too. I don't know. And so she as she's going through the store, she's collecting items, mumbling to herself the whole time. And she stopped yelling and went down to just strictly talking, which was nice. Volume was better, less scary. So she takes one of those backpack purses and she's filling it up with stuff. And I'm like, this is weird. And she takes did you know Walmart sells suit jackets? They do. They sell suits and suit jackets. So she ended up putting on this suit jacket over her clothes and just leaves. She starts to leave the store. And I'm like, oh no. She's stealing our stuff. And the other lady I was working with was like, you need to go stop her. Go tell him. I'm like, okay. So dumb. I don't know what I'm doing. I run up to the front, to the one exit. And I'm like, there's a lady stealing stuff. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, no, she's coming out. She's wearing our jacket and she's carrying our backpack. And he's like, there's really nothing I can do. I'm like, and we'd done all the right steps, but nobody showed up to stop her. And so she's leaving. I'm like, that's my jacket. You're wearing my jacket. And she's like, I'll be right back. I'm like, no, you're not. People steal all day, every day at Walmart, taking out things out of boxes. I find empty boxes all the time. My favorite was vitamins. People stole vitamins. And I'm like, well, your body may be healthier, but your soul. Anyway. Those are my thief stories. The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And wear suit jackets. Don't take my jacket. That's funny. I felt really gutsy. Like, what was that? The enemy actually has to pay back what was stolen. So I truly feel like John was stolen from me, from his family, from us, from Spokane, from my nation. I feel like he was stolen. So best case scenario, he owes us double portion. Best case, 7 times, right? Does that make sense? He owes us either double portion 2 times or even 7 times. There's a verse, Proverbs 6:31. What? Oh, okay, gotcha. I don't have that written down. And then in Isaiah 61:7, it talks about for your shame, he gives you a double portion. And there was even stuff in Deuteronomy and stuff that talks about giving you double back when something is stolen from you. So I think it's Deuteronomy, something like that. So I want us to just for a second, let's participate together. I want us to shout out things that John, bless you, shout out things that John is mined out for us, planted for us, that we are going to demand that return on. Does that make sense? Okay, so Somebody tell me something that John is poured out for us. Humility. Good. His presence, yes. Prayer. Revival, yes. Hope, yes. Healing, yes. Encouragement. Love it. Love and joy. Wisdom, loads of it. Worship, yes. Revelation. Prosperity. Friendship. Well, I've heard one I missed. Apostolic anointing. Father heart. Kindness. Was that kindness? Compassion. Freedom. Yeah, come on. Power. He loves that word. Hunger. His presence. Intercession. Yes. I didn't understand. Abiding. Family. Love for the word. Yes. Red. 7 times, baby. Spokane. He loves Spokane. Worship. I heard somebody else, but I couldn't tell. Glory. He loves glory. Children. Inheritance. Family. So all that, I think in my prayer life, I'm demanding a return. I want 2 times. Actually, I pray for 7. I'm not going to lie. I'm a greedy little girl. I want 7 times back the return on what was taken from me and from you, from my city, from us. So that is still true, right? So can we just begin to do that too? Like in our real lives, like begin to, I know it sounds forceful, but to put a demand on something that was deposited, to begin to pull, to withdraw. We know it's there. We know it's for us. And so we begin to put a demand on it. Otherwise, it just lays there. In 2 Corinthians 2:18, it talks about going from glory to glory. And that is still true. And this one's hard for me because I don't like the way it sounds. That we're going to have a better glory than what I have with John. But it's either true or it's not. You know, it's either biblical or it isn't. And please forgive me if I sound harsh, because it's not what I'm feeling. We're going to go from glory to glory. He has better things. The best is yet to come. He has more for us. He has better for us. He has that 7 times more for us. And that is still true. He is still trustworthy. 100% trustworthy. There's nowhere else to be but with him. He has the best. He is 100% trustworthy. I wrote down cool verses. I can't remember what I wrote them down, but I don't even remember what they say. So I'm going to look. If I said it out loud, one of you would know it, and then just say it to me. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand. But he is 100% trustworthy and worthy of all my trust. He is still the provider of all my needs. Even those emotional encouragement needs, he is my provider for all of them. And that is still true. And he's giving it to me according to his riches and glory. His. So good. And the truth is, he is still our healer. That is still true. Mary, we're so awesome. That was exactly where I wanted to go today too, is he still heals. Just because I didn't get what I wanted, what I thought I should have, I think it's wrong. Full blown, I think it's wrong. He still heals. He loved, Jesus walked around healing. It's what he did. He healed all who are oppressed by the enemy. That's what he did. It's who he is. And that doesn't change just because I don't get what I want this time. I want 7 times that. I want to put a demand on that. John never stopped saying it. I'm not going to stop saying it. And so do you remember a little bit ago I had talked about the mind of Christ and how we think about these situations. That's still true right now, and how we view this. It doesn't mean we don't have grief. Like I said earlier, like we're going to walk through and it's okay to be sad, but the truth is still the truth, and how we view it will really dictate how we live and what happens and what we see. So we're going to choose to think the way Jesus thinks. We're going to choose to believe the truth. We're going to choose to pray again and again and again until we start to see the explosion that we know is waiting for us. I know it's waiting for us. I wish John was here to experience it with me. That's what I wanted. It's not what I get. I don't get to choose that, but I will choose to pray for you again and again and again and not grow weary in it, to stir myself up. It is still true. He is Jehovah Rapha. Am I saying that right? Good enough? He is our healer. That's what he called himself. He was the one who chose that name. He was like, hey guys, guess what? This is who I am. You want to call me that? Because I am your healer. That's who I am. And so when he shows up and tells me who he is, I'd better believe him, right? So we're going to believe. The truth is, he is our healer. Truth is, there's good things for us right now. Truth is, there are treasures for us to mine out right now in this season. He has bread, he has fish, he has things for you. He has treasures, those things that John prophesied over us again and again and again, that he might have said to you specifically, or even to this house that's still here. And we're going to mine it out, okay? Lord, I love you. I trust you. Jesus, you're my favorite. Jesus, you're my favorite. I love you. Even when everything else feels like fertilizer, God, you are good and trustworthy, and I love you and I adore you. And we as a body, God, we're committed to walk after you all the days of our life. We're committed, Jesus, to mining out all those treasures that you have for us. Let us not ignore, God, let us not ignore those things that you have for us. Open our eyes to see, even in grief, when we offer you the sacrifice of praise, when it hurts. Lord, that we would gather the treasures that you have for us, because you are a good Father. You are good all the time. We love you in Jesus' name. Amen.